You know, when you look back in your life, there's turning points in relationship to your family, to your friends, to what turns you on and turns you off, what makes you laugh, what makes you cry. Now, today, it's a very sad day in Canada because our surrogate uncle for many years, and still is, Dr. Johnny Fever, Howard Hesseman, has passed away. Now, Howard Hesseman has unique influence on Canadians of a certain age. If you grew up in the late 1970s and 1980s, were a regular viewer of television, your number one show, bar none, Mary Tyler Moore, was bullshit compared to this show, WKRP in Cincinnati. And the basic plot of it was a very down-and-out radio station in Cincinnati decides to take its staff and goes rock and roll to change their format for some success. Now, there was a whole bunch of great character actors on the show, but Howard Hesseman led the way. Johnny Fever, my God, one of the greatest characters of any entertainment styling, TV, movies, whatever. Howard Hesseman, again, was the best supporting actor in comedy history because he wasn't a lead actor, but in the WKRP episodes, everything revolved around Johnny because whatever was going on, Johnny was either the cause of it, was reacting to it, or tried to solve it. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about Howard Hesseman's career. He's had a diverse career, but we're going to talk a little bit more intense later on why WKRP in Cincinnati was basically only SCTV in Canadian history, maybe Kids in the Hall, were just as popular. And my biggest regret, he wasn't Canadian because I would love to have a beer with him after voting in an election. Now, Hesseman was born in Lebanon, Oregon, February 27, 1940, the son of Edna and George Henry Hesseman. His parents divorced when he was 5, and he was raised by his mother and stepfather, who was a police officer. He graduated from Silverton High School in 58, and he attended the University of Oregon, and was later a founding member of the San Francisco-based improv comedy troupe The Committee, with fellow actor David Ogden, stars of MASH fame. Now, early in his acting career, he used the alias Don Sturdy, the name he also used as a radio DJ. Now, a lot of WKRP was based on the movie FM, but in this case he made his experience as an improv and a DJ the Johnny Fever character his. Now, under the alias of Don Sturdy, he made his first television appearances, including the episode Public Affairs, DR7, of the show Dragnet at 68. He portrayed, get this, a hippie named Jesse Chaplin, the editor of an underground newspaper. In this Dragnet episode, his character was a panelist on a TV show opposite Sergeant Friday and Officer Gannon. Now, he played a bit part in the 2 final season episodes of the Andy Griffith Show. In the episode Sanford Town Council, Hesseman has an exchange with Emmett Clark, Paul Hartman, who is running for town council against Sam Jones, played by Ken Berry. Hesseman plays a character named Harry seen preparing fishing tackle outside a sporting goods store and complained to Emmett how poor the fishing has been at a nearby fishing spot. Emmett promises to stock the pond with big perch in exchange for Harry's vote, and Harry agrees and wears a campaign button supporting Emmett. Now, the TV and movie appearances were quite intense in the early 70s for him. He played a key role in the movie Billy Jack, and he's also credited as Dan Sturdy, who plays the counter boy serving hot dogs and root beers in an episode of Andy Griffith as part of the Goober campaign. Now, Hesseman also made several appearances as Mr. Plager, a member of the group therapy ensemble on the Bob Newhart Show, who was later revealed to be gay. These have to be seen to be believed. It's quite a denouement. He became a playwright again in the 6th season of the show, writing a play about the characters in the group. In several upper episodes of the show, Hesseman's voice can be heard as a TV announcer. Now, in July 1869, he appeared with the improv comedy group The Committee in several sketches on the Dick Cavett Show, and also appeared in one sketch with guest Janet Joplin. Of course, the committee members appeared on Billy Jack. Now, he had appeared on episodic TV quite a bit. He also was on soap for a little while, played 7 episodes as sort of like a straight-laced lawyer. But when he arrived on Johnny Fever, what an arrival. The pilot episode talks about the shift from what he called the middle-of-the-road music all the way to rock and roll, and we hear some of Johnny Fever's background. One of the best stories in TV history, how basically he was fired from the station for saying the word booger on the air, and when Andy Travis tells him, you can say booger in the air, that's when he has the big breakdown. It is time for this town to get down, and everything erupts. Now, from the late 70s to early 80s, it was, again, a top 5 show across North America, #1 in Canada, so good they showed it in syndication, so a whole new generation of people could be warped by the thoughts of Johnny Cool, Johnny Caravella, Riptide. Everybody was involved. Now, what Dr. Johnny Fever was most well known, other than possible drug use, especially in the infamous Pink Floyd barking dog scene, he was anti-disco. And when the character Riptide ended up being kind of his cosmic alter ego, where he has kind of a nervous breakdown, there's a whole 2-part episode talking about he gives out over to disco for the sake of money and the sake of power. Now, the WKRP from 78 to 82, a role Hesseman prepared for by working as a DJ in San Francisco at of all things, the great KMXPX FM for several months. Now, he was nominated for a Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series in 1981 for his portrayal of Fever. Now, the WKRP was just on for a few seasons, but again, his influence in 2022, every episodic improv series you see owes everything to WKRP, because you had Herb Tarlick, you had Les Nessman, you had Jennifer Marlowe, you had the big guy, Jan Smithers' character, Venus Flytrap. It was literally improv, but not improv, and basically it was a group of people that really loved doing the characters that were portraying. We took them to heart, especially Johnny Fever, because everyone has an uncle that's kind of a little bit off kilter, but you love him for it. Either was a stoner or a womanizer, or had stories about the past you didn't really want to hear about, but you heard about it quite often. Now, he reprised the role when WKRP was rebooted late 80s, early 90s, and he also directed several episodes of it. Now, he's also well known for all the Police Academy movies, where he played a very straight-laced officer. And he also played Charlie Moore, the lead in Head of the Class, which was a show on ABC from 86 to 1990. He also played Sam Royer, the man who married Anne Romano on One Day at a Time from 82 to 84. Now, in 94, Hesseman introduced lost footage of Joplin in a documentary on Woodstock. He also made 3 appearances on Saturday Night Live, one of which he paid tribute to and told jokes about the recently deceased John Belushi, and the other which he mooned President Ronald Reagan. Now, NBC showed a picture of Reagan, and Hesseman mooned the president off camera. He also encouraged the viewing audience to moon the picture and send pictures to NBC. Now, he was also a stage performer. He played, of all people, the Marquis de Sade in Quills at the Geffen Playhouse in Westwood, California, which included one scene in which he was fully naked. In 2001, he had a recurring role on That 70s Show. And in 2006, he played the unorthodox Judge Robert Tomso in 3 episodes of Boston Legal, and also appeared in an episode of House. Now, he also had various guest appearances, including in ER and CSI Crime Scene Investigation. Now, unfortunately, the information we've been provided, he died from complications of colon surgery in LA on the January 28-29 weekend. And as we all know, sometimes surgery can go bad in that side. But for me, again, he also, I forgot to tell you this, he was also on This Is Spinal Tap. So a lot of TV and movies had that improv style to it. But to put this in perspective with Johnny, I know it's not, say, typecast. He played all different kind of characters. But Johnny Fever, again, the most famous, maybe the most famous DJ ever, that's not real. But you watched Howard Hesseman, and you could tell the give and take. It's like watching maybe Shapovalov versus Nadal the other day. There's between heavy tennis pros, there's a give and take, or like a serve and return. He made episodic TV so intelligent by Johnny Fever. You look at the episodes now, every episode is in, and I encourage anybody, if you have the DVDs or the episodes or watch on YouTube, see what he does. It was very subtle, and just like, and this is completely my opinion, he's just as important to comedy history as Mary Tyler Moore, as Carl Reiner, as Mel Brooks, because the character he played was what you expected him to play. It wasn't just one note. There was many notes going on. The phone cops incident, the correcting Les Nessman with the pronunciation, Chai Rodriguez, the phone cops, the turkey drop, okay, where he taught Jesus has talked to him, and Jesus told him, I want you to be a golf pro. Well, somebody as stolen as Johnny Fever was going to mishear Jesus. But every relationship, and with Bailey Quarters, he had an unrequited kind of situation on and off anyway. But every relationship he had with the characters of WKRP was unique. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we would do a countdown, 5 days of WKRP, 4 days of WKRP, but we were in our cups because it was shown in syndication on CBC, or CBC New Brunswick, 5 days a week for I don't know how many years. And let me tell you something, coming home from school in the crap, the 1 hour to and back bus drive I would do from my hometown to DRHS, I knew there was Kraft dinner waiting for me in the fridge, because my dad would cook me that, and WKRP was waiting. So I'd sit down with my Kraft dinner, there was no microwave, it was cold Kraft dinner, watching. I knew every line that Johnny Fever said. And the reason I've become a journalist, I appreciate it better. I did become a journalist because of Johnny Fever. I had that idea years before. But my God, to share the same media, or I've done radio, with Johnny Fever. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know Betty White was very important, and Meatloaf and all that, but for Canadians especially, Johnny Fever, my God, he should have been Prime Minister of Canada. And Trailer Park Boys, the subtlety of the comedy is a rip-off of Howard Hesseman and the WKRP cast. I'm not joking. You look at the subtlety, especially, and you check out this episode, The Bible Pimps. There's a lot of parallels because WKRP is Trailer Park Boys without the profanity and all the drug references and the sexuality. But WKRP influenced so many people in Canada to seek out the best quality improv comedy. So you look at Ryan Stiles and all the people from Whose Line Is It Anyway? They owe a lot to Howard Hesseman and his style. And knowing he's not around anymore is like I said, it's sad, but he'll live forever in our laughter, because every time I hear a bad radio announcer, I say, this guy fucked up. It's another WKRP. It's another Johnny Fever. And if you're a DJ today, half of it is owed to Howard Hesseman. So again, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing here with our tribute podcast, or obit podcast, we like to say, give us a like, comment, or subscribe. And as we sign off, if you ever wonder whatever became of me, I'm living on the air in Cincinnati, WKRP. God bless you, Howard Hesseman, and I guess God wants you to be a golf pro. He probably called you home to teach everybody in heaven to be a golf pro. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do without you, brother. We're going to have the laughter, but I was always hoping you could come back for one last run, but it wasn't in the cards. Thanks for listening. Bye.